Welcome back to another great episode of Geek Centurions. It's me, your boy Eli, and I'm joined along with Daniel again because he's usually the gamer guy.
What's up?
Yeah, and last week we talked about the PS5, the big announcements they brought in, new games, the pre-order mishap, and turns out this week was all about Xbox because not only do they have their pre-order launch, but also a big announcement that came out earlier this week. Also, apparently they also think I forgot Tokyo Gamescom was going on this week, and apparently they did something, and really it's to talk about. It's just that's gonna mean like I got nothing to say about Tokyo Gamescom.
I mean, not a lot happened so far.
No, it's, at
It
this
just
point,
started, yeah.
I just apparently started. We might talk more about it like another day.
Yeah, I
Hopefully,
mean, I don't know how much more details we can get into. I mean, they said that they're going to try to do more to appeal to Japanese players, but that's about it. All the trailers and everything else they showed, we already
hmm
seen before.
which don't get me wrong. We're gonna start with Tokyo Gamescom. Then we're gonna talk about the big buyout of Bethesda. Then we're gonna talk about the pre-orders. But yeah, you're right. Xbox basically just said we're gonna make sure that we can try to have an audience in Japan, whether it be through Xbox or more likely their Game Pass slash XCloud situation. Which,
Hmm.
considering the market for okay, so Japanese market when it came to Xbox, it has been notoriously non-existent.
Yeah, and you can see that through the history too. Like the original Xbox, it kind of had their fans. 360 still kind of had their fans, and then the Xbox One, it just went plummeting down poorly.
I just keep going down. I mean, you would have the occasional, like you said, fans. Like, I think I was surprised to find out. Oh yeah, there's actually Xbox players in Japan, and they're playing Killer Instinct. So it's
Yeah,
only because like we play Killer Instinct, and that's how we know.
yeah.
Who was it? Gomi playing that Cinder in Evo, and we're all like Japanese player playing a American console for a game that's only in an American console.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, and I still remember seeing this article too, like the Xbox One's launch in Japan. They had like all these lineup stations and everywhere for people to go ahead and grab their Game Stops when it when stores finally opened, but there was no one there. It was just a big empty space, no lines or nothing.
hmm And granted, it could probably be Japan's philosophy of not being so um, interested in companies that aren't Japanese. But it's one of those things where I'm kind of interested to see how this turns out because the thing about Japan and that I've noticed is that they're more into the handheld stuff, the handheld games like the DS, the Switch at this point, because
Yeah.
they are people that like to travel a lot. There's a lot of
Yeah,
commuting going on. So maybe introducing XCloud, which includes Game Pass, would probably be a good idea for them.
it could work. This would be the first time like cloud gaming was thought of in Japan. I know Ubisoft, they did it with, I don't remember which Assassin's Creed, but they did like a cloud version of an Assassin's Creed game for Nintendo Switch, and same thing with Capcom. They did something similar as well, but with Resident Evil 7. I don't know if that was successful or any way, but they
Yeah.
it's been thought of and been tried out before in Japan.
hmm No, yeah, you're right. I think it's one of those things where it could work for Xbox, especially because like we said, there's a non-existent, almost let's say almost a non-existent like player base over there,
Yeah.
and even with PlayStation, it's the same thing too. Rarely are they that into buying a console, as I recall, or am I wrong in that statement?
Uh, I will say this: handheld, portable handheld gaming is somewhat like popular. I'm not sure if it's more or just about the same as consoles, but yeah, portable gaming is really popular in Japan because, like you said, it's always on the go. And even the PlayStation Vita, for example, which is considered like maybe a failure over here in the West, it's actually way more successful over there in Japan.
Yeah, you're right because I heard those because a lot of games are a lot of PSP or PS Vita games were mostly exclusive to Japan. So it only makes sense that hey, How about we don't focus that much on our Western audience because they're not buying it. So let's just focus on
Yeah,
our market.
same thing that was happening over here too. Like the PS Vita was mostly starting to get like more very niche games instead of like usually the Western developers that we've seen. I think the last one that Sony they promoted was Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, and then right after after
Mm-hmm.
that, I don't think we ever heard anything from a Western developer or anything or anyone else.
Mm-hmm. So no, it's a good thing that they're trying. Aside from that, they only talked about most of they're going to try to embrace more of Japanese companies. Hopefully that turns out well. We don't know. I mean, there's rumors that they want to buy a Japanese company, and we'll see. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I mean,
But essentially, it's a very American company, so it's like we will see some kind of thing with them. I doubt it, but they're trying.
yeah, this wouldn't be the first time either because they actually have tried before with the original Xbox as well. They heard the Japanese players they absolutely hated the Duke, so they redesigned it for them.
Hmm.
They did give Japanese developers to produce exclusive games on their system too for the Xbox, such as Dead or Alive, Ninja Gaiden, even some
Okay,
even more like obscure series. Probably not obscure anymore, but for example, Shin Megami Tensei 9, literally the only Shin Megami Tensei game that's on the Xbox.
that was on Xbox
It
as an
was on the
exclusive.
Xbox. It was. Yeah,
Wow,
I was surprised too. It's like there was a Shin Megami game on Xbox, and I looked it
imagine
up.
that. Imagine if that was successful.
Yeah,
You would
like
have all the Persona players playing on the PlayStation, all the Shin Megami Tensei players.
yeah, it was so weird too. Like it was supposed to be originally a MMO as well, but they later decided to turn it into just a single player game. But
Really?
yeah,
Well,
like
the only ones I can think of off the top of my head was like again, like I was mentioned earlier, Blue Dragon and what was it?
well, Blue
Lost
Dragon was Square
Odyssey.
Enix, I think.
Yeah, Blue Dragon was Square Enix because that's basically another Dragon Quest game, and Lost Odyssey was a game that made by the creator of Final Fantasy, like the
Yeah,
OG one. So
yeah.
like,
I
and I
think
heard
that
that one was pretty good, but it didn't get enough sales.
yeah, like and they tried. They definitely tried. I mean, they did get a Persona game on Xbox 360. But it was a spin-off. It was a fighting game, Persona 4 Arena and Arena Ultimax.
I forgot that was on there.
Yeah, and also Catherine, but I don't think they sold that well because they just made like a remastered or like reimagining of Catherine, but it was only on PS4 and Nintendo Switch.
I remember that.
But yeah, either way, they have tried to get the Japanese players' attention, try to get them interested in Xbox before. They seem to try to do it like even more of a push just to show like they're just as good as the PlayStation or Nintendo.
Hmm. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I would love to see them go do it, but Japan is such a weird market. They kind of prefer stuff that comes from like I said, they prefer stuff that comes from their country than anyone else's. That's why you often see them making their own stuff instead of outsourcing work for other people. I mean, you and I can go into the reason why probably we'll never see netcode like good netcoding in Japan
Mm-hmm.
from a Japanese fighting game company like say Capcom, Bandai Namco, because they
Arc
don't like to
System
use.
Works. Well,
Yeah,
actually, Arc System Works is working on Netcode,
yeah,
rollback.
because I think we demanded it.
Yes, because they heard us.
They heard the ramblings and they've seen how it works. It's rollback netcoding was it's a very Western idea, and using a lot of Western technology, and they don't like to use other things that aren't from there. You know,
Yeah. Plus, like rollback netcode is actually, from what I heard, very difficult to implement as well.
really rollback.
Yeah, because like I don't know the full details. I just know like way more work has to be put into it than delay based.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. I mean, but it works. It works. We love it. But hopefully Xbox does well with trying to appeal with the Japanese audience. It's a never ending battle for them. They want to make sure that's a marketplace they want. There's a lot of gamers in Japan. There's a lot of you know properties, IPs there that really you just can't say no to. I
Hmm.
mean, You remember how crazy it was to find out that Kingdom Hearts 3 was coming to Xbox?
Yeah, like they just announced it, and it was like, wait, they didn't have a single Kingdom Hearts game, and they're getting
Oh,
three.
but now they do, because if you go on their Xbox Marketplace, it's right there, all those collections, and I'm just like, why don't you release these as you were getting to Kingdom Hearts 3? You're, but no, I mean, when Final Fantasy when that came on there, they were like, what? And seven's coming in, but it's gonna be like a next year kind of thing. But we're still getting Final Fantasy, yay! I don't know about 16 because I highly doubt that.
Uh, I'm not sure the full details, but yeah, they did announce it was exclusive.
Hmm. But no, it's like I said, they're doing things. We're hopefully get them. They also talked about Minecraft and Flight Simulator, how they're gonna do some Japanese theme stuff, and I'm like, it's cool, but I'm not really that interested in those kind of games. And that was the most lackluster thing that came out of Xbox this week. It's more of like, we're gonna try to do it. We're gonna show them about Game Pass. We're gonna show them XCloud. Makes sense for what they're trying to do. But let's talk about one of the big things that happened this week for Xbox, and that is the recent purchasing of Bethesda. Or what was it? What was the parent company of Bethesda?
It, it was both Bethesda and ZeniMax.
Cinemax. Okay. So, Daniel, can you explain to us why that is such a big deal?
Okay, so when people think of Bethesda, they think of Fallout, they think of the Elder Scrolls, but that's just the devs. We're talking about the entirety of Bethesda. So this
Mhm.
includes not only just Fallout or the Elder Scrolls, but Doom, Wolfenstein, uh, the games from Shinji Mikami, which is let's see, The Evil Within, and the upcoming Ghostwire.
Which
To
is
what
now, I
else?
think, is now considered now announced to be a timed exclusive.
Is it? It I think there was some exclusivity deal with PlayStation.
Mhm.
Bethesda has confirmed they're going to honor the exclusivity with that, and I forgot what's the other game,
It
but
was like
yeah,
that. I was say Deadshot. That doesn't sound right.
it's something shot.
Yeah, I
But
think it is Deadshot. I'll double check it out, but you can keep going.
yeah, Commander Keen, Prey. I know there's another game, Quake. Yeah, they own Quake now. Come on, I know these games. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart over them. But yeah, so Doom, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, the
Deathloop.
upcoming Starbound, Wolfenstein, Commander Keen, Quake, Prey, The Evil Within, and the upcoming Ghostwire. That's it.
And
Oh,
Deathloop.
Dishonored. That's what it was.
Dishonored. But yeah, Deathloop was the game we were talking about earlier.
There we go. That's what it was. Deathloop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So yeah. So that's a big deal because like that's when you take it like it's not just one like developers or anything like Pandemic or anything that EA bought and killed. No, this is an entire company with full of different IPs.
yeah, and not just that, they bought it for 7.5. Was it million or billion?
Billion.
Jesus. Just to give you guys a note, and if you don't know how much that is more than what Disney bought for Star Wars and Marvel. That is a lot of money. And you're getting essentially, what is it? How many developers at this point? Because they had like what 11 to start with when their when they're because right now they're out purchasing developers for games, but now and they're at a certain number, but now they're at 23 after they bought off Bethesda. So it's like at least 11 to 12 different developers, and they're all coming to Xbox / Game Pass. And literally, when this was announced, it was the craziest thing ever. Like if you guys remember how people reacted when Disney bought Star Wars, imagine that times 10 for us, for the gamers, because holy shit, the reaction to the people who tend to play on PC and the people who tend to play on Sony, PlayStation. I've never seen people so scared of the fact that they might not be able to play the next Doom, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, whatever, Wolfenstein. I have never seen people get that like upset. I don't know. It's like they got scared. I don't know if you've seen all that stuff, that kind of stuff too, Daniel. If,
I had like people were freaking out. It's like, oh shit! So like Elder Scrolls 6, the next Doom, Wolfenstein or whatever, we won't be able to play that anymore. And there was actually arguments online saying like, so are we getting these games or they're now Xbox exclusive at this point? And we never really
Mhm,
got a definitive answer because we know for the announced games, they did say like we're gonna honor the exclusivity deals and everything. Whatever it said was coming to PlayStation is still good to go. And from what I'm hearing from Microsoft, they'll be semi-independent, so they do own
yeah.
them, but they're letting them do their own thing.
Hmm.
So there might be a chance we PS5 and maybe Nintendo players will still be able to play some of their games. I mean, because Microsoft they've been known to let other platforms have their games before. Just
Hmm.
recently, we have Cuphead on PS4. We recently got the second Ori game on Nintendo Switch
And the first,
and the first. And Minecraft is available everywhere else for crossplay. So they've been known to let other platforms have their games as well.
they've been fair.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, because like, so to go back to what you were saying, Phil Spencer did say that in terms of exclusivity, it's going to be a case by case basis. So chances are, the more popular IPs, um, like Doom, Elder Scrolls, or whatever, those will probably be open to everyone. But if they decided, if say Bethesda or whatever other of their sister companies decide to do, say, hey, let's make a game specifically for Xbox, that would be the exclusive,
yeah.
and that's the thing. But no, the but that's a genuine fear that I've seen people have when they're like, does that mean I won't be able to play the new Doom or anything? But like, they said that those will be available to you guys, but anything else will be a case by case basis. Because like I remember seeing people like vividly like concerned, like, am I not going to be playing this? Do I have to do this and that in order to get my games? Do I have to actually buy a Series X now, or and stuff like that? And it's funny because a lot of people are actually, there's people that are like congratulating Xbox, like, good job, buddy, you guys finally had games. While other people are criticizing them for buying an entire studio just to have games. Ironically enough, that's the same thing that Sony did, guys. Come on now,
Yeah.
that shit with Insomniac. You know, we've been saying that too. Because I mean, I've heard that. I remember there was a comment I saw online on social media that said, when you think about it, it's kind of sad that Xbox is to buy all these studios just to have games. I'm like, dude, you can't say that because like you have to say the same thing for Sony and Nintendo.
Pretty much.
Which yeah, so it's like, but no, you're right. Xbox has been very fair.
I mean, this is something. As much as people might not like the idea of it, this is something that Xbox probably should have needed it done because back back then, like during the Xbox One, the only games that I could think of that are like the popular exclusives was just Forza and Halo. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's the occasional Gears of War, but
Mm-hmm.
that's about it. I can't think of any other exclusives. I think most of them, like the other ones that came out like around near launch, like
Mm-hmm.
Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, and so on.
Yeah, no, they've always been the place where where it's best to play multiplayer games. That was their whole thing, which is why games like Halo and Gears, especially Call of Duty, were the most apparent because that's where like, hey, all my friends are playing on there, and plus their online is actually pretty good. Let's go play on there. But as time went, Sony just Sony got their ups, and then Xbox got their downs, and then that's where we are now with the current
Mm-hmm.
gen. But it's funny how so many people are quick to blame say Xbox, you know, are gonna take away our games, but like we said, they're fair. They try to be fair, and they try to make sure everyone is accustomed gets what they need.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think like they're probably the only one of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, to actually allow some of their games to be on PC. It's because oftentimes most of the time it'd be rare to find that same game on PC.
Hmm.
And but yeah, but they're like, no, let's include the PC family into our stuff. Let's include it because Halo's coming out. The new Halo game is coming out on Xbox and PC, so that's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
Essentially, hopefully, this doesn't mean for those of you that are worried, the games are still gonna come to you. That
yeah,
the big
and
talk is really is right now also is what's the next thing that Xbox is gonna buy because they're on a buying spree. They got that fuck you money. I can buy whatever.
like I think they're probably good for now. I can't really think of another company they would want to buy. Sega. I know a lot of people were saying Sega, but I doubt Sega wants to go ahead and let something like that happen right
We
now.
we we don't know yet, but there have. It's the same thing that people I think are equating to like Square Enix possibly being bought by Sony
Hmm.
because they have such a tight connection to each other. Like, hey, look, it's Square Enix. We're releasing these certain games only on PlayStation. By the way, PlayStation also gets like all these extra shit because fuck you, Xbox and Nintendo and PC players.
Yeah,
So
like you want.
it's like the Spider-Man situation with the Avengers game, the fact that most of the Final Fantasy games currently like 7 and 16 possibly being time exclusive or just being straight up only for PlayStation.
Yeah, again, like going all the way back to PS3 as well. For
Mm-hmm.
example, you could only play as the Joker in Arkham Asylum on PS3. In MK9, they get Kratos, but Xbox gets nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and and I could probably just list more and more things they have exclusive stuff too.
Yeah, and the moment, and I find it funny, the moment that Xbox does it is the moment that they're all like against it, like no, I don't like that idea. But I'm like, what you guys been doing it for like past 2 generations? Well, why can't we do that? There's a little bit of hypocrisy. That's like it's loyalty, brand loyalty, like we talked about before.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
I mean, it happens like one person can only afford like maybe one console at most, and so they want to go ahead and try to support that the most.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, I get that, but at the same time, I think most people are, like I said, we're probably just happy to see that Xbox is doing something.
Yes, and so into my PlayStation friends and everything, I just want to say we do have a lot of studios too. It's not just Insomniac, it's not just Naughty Dog's Santa Monica and Naughty Dog. There's plenty of more studios you're not aware of because they're mostly making like smaller games that you're probably overlooking. For example, maybe the Gravity Rush series from the Studio Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Those are great, and I'm probably guilty of that as well because I have played some of their like smaller niche games, and I don't remember the name of the studio, so I kind of feel bad for not remembering that. But no, yeah, we do have some. We do have plenty more developers on our side as well. They're just like they mostly want to like show off like the bigger AAA stuff rather than like the small niche
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Which kind of annoys me because I like Gravity Rush a lot, and PlayStation you should probably promote that a lot more. But anyways, back to Xbox.
No, that's that. No, you're giving fair points too. Like Sony has a lot more than just Insomniac and all that stuff
Yeah,
that
and
people don't really pay attention to. But now that fact that Xbox has Bethesda, plus all these other ones that they had, Double Fine, Ninja Theory, The Initiative, all this crazy stuff. You're starting to notice more, and you're like, they can't have all that. And I'm like, well, yes, they can. Sony has it too.
yeah, like I think the main issue is that these developers are more well known because when Nintendo, uh, you can probably remember EAD. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
they still have EAD anymore. I know they
Game Freak.
Game Freak. That's more of a second party, but yeah. Uh,
Yeah, but like they still tend to make mostly just Nintendo games.
yeah. So like again, EAD, which I'm not sure if that's still a thing anymore because I know they merged it with the portable subsidiary. Uh, Game
Whatever,
Freak, HAL
whatever
Laboratory,
Sakurai is a part of.
Sora Limited.
Yeah.
That's independent though.
Mm,
And then HAL Laboratory from the Kirby series, and Monolith that did the Xenoblade RPG games,
mm-hmm,
which I need to go back and finish. But anyway, and say yeah, so like and same with PlayStation. I'm like I said before, I brought out like some of the big names like Sucker Punch, Naughty Dog, and all that. And there's even like some smaller studios that I don't remember the names of and anything.
mm-hmm.
I think the biggest issue is just that the Bethesda, Obsidian, all the other stuff. These are big, well-known names in the industry that we're familiar with, and we know their history and their catalog of games. So I think I think the issue is like that we actually know them, and that's why people are getting a little bit crazy over.
Hmm. Heck, you know one of the positive things I heard about with the buyout of Bethesda,
Was that?
because Xbox also bought Obsidian, who was at some point a sister company, or like one of their other developers for Bethesda, and they made one of the best known games, Fallout New Vegas.
That is correct, and it
And
doesn't have
someone
to be.
tweeted,
It doesn't have to be a new Vegas too, but we want you to make a new Fallout game.
"Yeah, we want you to make New Vegas too."
Like, I'm
That's
sorry,
what you
Todd
really say.
Howard. Four didn't do it. I mean, it didn't do it for me, man. I just want another Obsidian Fallout game.
And like, was it there was a tweet? Someone tweeted them, "Does this mean we're gonna get Fallout New Vegas too?" And all they did was like the shrug emote, and I'm just like, bro, imagine if that game was an exclusive for Xbox.
I mean, I'm already planning on playing an Xbox Series X later down the line, but shit, like I will definitely put that up on my list of things to buy if that happened.
Oh hell yeah! But like I said, this is a chance for them to not only they're still gonna make products for everyone. But
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox asked them, "Can we get some exclusive for ourselves though? Come on, guys." But well, it's a wait and see situation. But that's one of the big ones I hear that everyone's talking about. Hey, you know, can we get that in Vegas? Come on, guys. But it's I'm happy for them. I really am. It just means that hey, we're finally getting games, but and some people are upset about it, some people are happy about it. But at the same time, most of these games are gonna be on Game Pass, which
yeah,
is like
that's
the
true.
big thing they're promoting.
That's true. Almost every Bethesda game will be on Game Pass now.
Hmm. Every new one too.
Hmm.
And if you guys don't know what Game Pass is, because we've probably talked about it enough times that we didn't even mention what it is.
It's,
Basically, think of like Netflix for gaming. Basically, was it $15 a month?
I don't remember, but yeah, pretty much it's a monthly subscription service. So basically, for a small amount of money each month, you get like a large catalog of games to play with for free,
Hmm.
which
And
means that you'll be paying for
if you
Skyrim
really
every
like,
month now. Todd Howard got all of us again.
yeah,
He
Todd
did it again.
Howard, his he just tells us sweet, sweet little lies. That was the meme, right? The sweet, sweet little lies.
Yeah, sweet little lies, and always trying to get us to buy Skyrim. And damn it, he's making us buy it every month.
Skyrim's on everything. That means that this allows the next next Elder Scrolls game to be on everything again
Yeah,
upon release, especially because now it's on Game Pass. But no, it's basically it's a monthly subscription service. I think the highest payment plan is probably $15 a month, and you get all this other stuff. Yeah, you get to play all these games for free, and if you really really like that game, you can buy it as the price would be. Am I right? Am I around that statement?
uh, no, it's I don't think how that works. Basically, what it is like yeah, like you have a large catalog of games to play for free,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you're still subscribed, you can still play it. There's no really purchase or anything to it. I, I think what you're trying to think of or forgot about is the service even expands to PC as well through the Windows 10 store.
That's right. That's right.
And there's even if you have an Xbox and a PC, you could even get like an enhanced premium version where basically you have Game Pass for both your Xbox and your PC.
That's right. That's the one. So could have sworn you can also buy. Um, it's like you get $15. It's a payment plan. You play the games for free, and but I'm saying if you want to save it to your Xbox, then you have to pay the full price for that game, right?
No, you can still download it and everything. It's not like cloud streaming or anything like that. You literally get to download the
Okay.
game and then play it as long as you're still subscribed.
See, that's why I still haven't bought it because I'm just like, there's some moments I'm still confused about, but I really want to get Game Pass though. I really do. It sounds like a badass deal. $15 a month for like a shit ton of games. Hell yeah!
I mean, didn't you use that pass when we went to that Halo convention?
Did I? I don't remember. They probably
We,
gave it to me and I never used it.
like everyone gets one.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't use it because, but no, it's that's the great thing about it. And the one thing about that I like that they did about this whole Bethesda announcement is that it came a day before their pre-orders.
That's true. This happened all before the pre-orders became available.
Oh yeah, because so as I recall, this is probably the last notion of our conversation for this episode. Last week, at the time of the recording last week, PS5 sent out their pre-orders unannounced. So not many people were able to get their PS5s because they sold out in minutes.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. I was able to get one easy.
You son of a bitch. Yeah, no. You would tend to have stories like the one me and Daniel have, where I found out last minute, and it was already too late. Daniel found out last minute, and was lucky enough to still procure one from Target.
Yeah, I was able to find one. Like, oh, okay, there we go, got one.
Yeah, and so it was a mishap because like they just announced all this cool stuff, and they're like pre-orders tomorrow, and then some retailer, apparently it was Walmart, was like, "No, pre-orders are right now. Come get it." And then it sent the whole dominoes falling down to like every other retailer. Even I think Sony got in on it too to give out their PlayStation because they went from GameStop to Target to Best Buy. Everyone and the bots came in and they took everything.
Yeah,
And the only place you can buy it now is on eBay for 2 or 3 times the actual price. And I'm like, fuck that.
like at minimum, if you're really, I don't know why, it'll be about $1,000 at minimum.
By the way, why are you buying it now? The console isn't even out. Why is it on eBay?
Plus, apparently, I found out there's a rule there too. Like you have to have a possession of it, but within the 30 days, you make a listing on it. But because it's gonna be more than 30 days, so they're technically breaking the rules and stuff. But yeah,
Oh Jesus Christ! But no, Xbox instead. They were like they even tweeted at it, but like, it's gonna come out for us guys on the 22nd, so you don't have to worry about it. We will have enough.
and boy, did that tweet age poorly.
And yeah, it went as bad as you would expect. Now we can argue. Now we can later on we can talk about which one did it worse because I'm pretty sure we both might agree on who did it worse. But the pre-orders went out, and a lot of sites were not working the way they should have.
Yeah, so I think they probably should have done what Sony did, or basically any movie theater chain did. Whenever pre-orders for like I don't know, the Avengers or Star Wars were coming out, like basically you have this weird like virtual online thing, or where you queue up, and then when it's your turn to go enter the website, they let you win, let you buy your ticket, and do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happened with my experience pre-ordering the PS5 with the Sony store. Like I actually got picked to go ahead and pre-order from them directly. They put me on this one site. Basically, I was queued up, and if it was my turn to go, I hear a beep or whatever, then I get to the site.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, no, I was able to get one, so I can
yeah,
tell you from my experience. So I knew that they were all because they're all supposed to like the pairs were all supposed to start for each retailers at 10 a.m. From where we're at, 8 a.m. Pacific, all that shit. So I got up early. I made sure I had all the available listings. For all these places, Amazon, Best Buy, Walmart, even their main site had already just in case because I was like, I foresee this a very event happening because considering the situation we're all in, we're all basically going to do pre-orders online. I foresee this very event, and I was right.
yep,
First place I tried was the Microsoft Store, and because apparently they started off like a couple minutes earlier than 10. I was
oh,
shocked, and so I went in, but it didn't give me like a 404 message. It gave me like this link is unable to work or whatever, and I was like, okay, I'll try out Walmart, and Walmart I was able to get one, but I was like, okay, hold up. This could happen like it happens to a lot of people where it's in there but it's not secure. So let me try going to the other ones. And for whatever reason, Amazon wasn't up. Best Buy wasn't up either at the time. Target was up, but the pre-order button was not working, which is something that a lot of people have also said in their tweets and their stuff from online on the social medias that the pre-order button for Target wasn't working. And I was like, okay, looks like Walmart might have to be my one to go. And so I went to Walmart I went to go to the I went to go for the full purchase, and then it said sold out. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, let me try Target again. Maybe it'll work this time. It worked. Oh, but you need to make sure you sign up for all this stuff so we'll let you go through. I'm like, fine. Da, 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 da. Okay. By the way, at the same time I was doing Target, I double checked on Xbox. It was letting me through, but it wouldn't let me go to checkout. And I was like, okay, let me back to Target. I'm doing it again. Okay, I'm finished. Let's go. It is not in. It is not in the. It is not in the cart. Also, the pre-order button does not work. And I was like, okay, still not up on Amazon. Still not up on Best Buy. Microsoft, you're my only hope. And Lord behold, it worked. I had no issues. I got in, got out, went back to sleep. And guess how long that took me, Daniel. Guess how long that took me.
Let me see. I mean, thinking about it now, it probably shouldn't take as long as that one time. I waited 3 hours at a GameStop for my amiibo pre-order, so
Mm-hmm.
2 hours.
Less than an hour.
Oh, so it's kind of
Yeah,
close.
yeah. Which is weird because I was like, I felt like this would have been a lot worse, but it wasn't. And I'll give Microsoft that it is not as worse in my personal opinion. It is not as worse as how it went down for Sony.
I mean, yeah, like likewise, I would say, the website crashing and everything. Yeah, it's on the same level as Sony, but at least you were given a heads up when it was going to happen.
Exactly. I mean, like here's the thing. I think it comes down to more of like the retailers not being able to predict that it would go down this way. Same with Microsoft. They didn't think it was going to go down this way because like heck, we even made a joke about it in the last one. I doubt there's going to be that many pre-orders for Xbox Series X. I was wrong. Apparently, I was wrong.
And what's really crazy though, like it's the same thing is happening with them, just like with PlayStation 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I
I mean,
mentioned PlayStation 5. There will be very few digital versions compared to the full price original one, and the same thing is happening with the Xbox Series as well. There's way more Series X and very few Series S out there to pre-order.
really, I didn't notice that. I noticed the one for like GameStop. You know, if you wanted to go pre-order at their location, they only have very limited. Like, yeah, we only have like 8 Series X's and and 8 Series S's. So all you 1,800 people, whatever. It's not 1,800 people, but I'm just exaggerating.
Yeah, yeah, like
We can only add 16 in.
yeah,
So
they may
that's
have a
why.
few more than the PS5, but yeah, there's way fewer Xbox Series S compared to the Xbox Series X.
Hmm. Which is really weird because we've said this before. I would think you would want to promote the cheaper one more than the expensive one.
Yeah, but you know, like how some retailers like no, like the profits from the pre-used games and stuff, and it's like I guess so, but I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's very surprising. Especially that's another thing about the Series S. They actually announced a price cut for it already in Japan. I think it's about maybe like about $20 cheaper now over there than here.
I know that was especially for India.
Yeah, yeah, but other than that, yeah, it's a little weird how like there's you know, like PlayStation 5. I don't think they really care about the digital thing a lot. I think they want to go ahead and focus more on the disc version than the discless one. But with Xbox, yeah, they announced it. They gave it like a really good price and everything. I mean, $300 plays you know, Xbox 360 One and Series X games and all that. And there's not going to be as many as the Series X out there. That's rather strange.
Probably has to do with production and considering the situation we're in. I talked this with my brother. Is that no one should be surprised. You know, it doesn't matter how you do it. Doesn't matter how Xbox did it, how PS5 did it. We've never been in a situation where we had to go out and order crazily online. But because we have the current issues today with pandemic, we had no choice but to order online.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, You and I would probably be in line right now just to get a PS5 slash Series X.
mean, yeah, that's all I normally did. Like that's what I did for Nintendo Switch. They did their conference. Woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning the next day. Waited outside the GameStop to pre-order my Switch, and boom, that's it, done.
That's it. It's done. It's done.
Yeah, but with the pandemic and everything, I was pretty much forced to to do it on my computer.
And everyone was for it. And I'm gonna say, yeah, you could probably queue them, but I don't know if like queuing for this many people is possible now. Is it?
I I'm not
It
sure
should
because
be.
it should be because like I know like okay, yeah, with PlayStation, whenever they had like some people, randomly pick, you're like, okay, you get to pre-order a PS5 directly from us. Go to the website and stuff, the queue system. But we don't know how many exactly. Yeah, we don't know exactly how many people were picked to go ahead and pre-order directly from them, compared to like maybe like people getting hyped up for the next Avengers or Star Wars movie.
I mean, and plus a new console is comes out every what 7 years, 8 years,
Like pretty much almost like every decade.
exactly. So it's like I don't know, man. It's just I talked about this like would queuing help? Yes, but we don't know if how far
I
you
mean,
know.
it, in the meantime, I do believe queuing is probably the best solution that we have for now.
Hmm.
From the looks of it. Whenever you queue online, you get to the website. There's no issues. There's no like can't add the shopping cart or whatever nonsense. You're able to get in, get out, and the next person in line can go ahead and enter the site.
Hmm. And like the thing about Xbox is like you're still for the most part it was more of the retailers than the actual you know maybe not having enough because apparently everyone like apparently my Walmart still had it but they kept saying it was sold out but it really wasn't.
Hmm.
I mean they sold out, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, but like they kept getting that message when it wasn't 100%.
yeah,
Though I will say I find it weird how most of these retailers were unable to at least accommodate for them. Like what is it like Amazon didn't get it right until like at least like 30 to an hour later
is it?
of like your rid of the announced time.
Yeah,
And if you're not a smart person apparently, or you're not gamers like me and Daniel, you might have mistakenly bought your kid a Xbox One X.
yeah. I heard about that. Like,
God damn it, Microsoft! We warned you about this naming convention.
yeah, I mean, like they probably should have called the Xbox One 720, and then what's 720 plus 360? Um, I got a calculator here. Let's see. So like 720.
Like 10, it's 1080, isn't it?
They should have just probably called it the Xbox 1080.
Yeah. Or if you were me, and instead of calling it the Xbox One, because it's supposed to be like all access to everything, the AO all in one.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue, but it works.
I,
It makes sense what they're trying to do.
I mean, this is like the fourth Xbox console, so maybe like they probably would have called it Xbox 4K, but then that still doesn't sound that right.
No, it doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just naming it Xbox was probably a mistake at the same time.
I mean, they were doing okay. I mean, we were all expecting the 720. They just that's why they decided, like, nah, fuck you, I'm doing weird shit.
Yeah, yeah. But their pre-order issue was just as bad. Not as worse as Sony because at least we knew what was going on.
Yeah, it wasn't like last minute or anywhere or any surprises. It was
No,
just like
everyone
that.
had a chance. If you weren't unable to, at least you'll still be able to buy it at some other point in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was able to get it in like less than an hour. Some people I don't think were as lucky because some of the people. No wait, GameStop did do a queue, but it wasn't a 100% queue.
It wasn't.
No, because you went in and like I forgot to mention this. I went into GameStop next, and then like it's in it says, okay, we want pre-order. Click on this button. You're queued, and don't refresh. It will automatically refresh. And I kept seeing it refresh. I'm like, am I able to? And I click on it. It's like, nope, I'm still unqueued. And I tried again. Still cute. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna go with the Microsoft. Adios.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now that I think about it, I think it was acting weird because I don't know if this still was GameStop, but I remember like Jeff Keighley, even him, he was trying to attempt to pre-order the Xbox Series X, and the website just kept acting up and started like doing some weird stuff whenever he went to the website.
Yeah, it was mostly. I was talking to this about to somebody else. It felt more like the retailers were at fault than more of like the people in charge themselves.
I mean, like I'm sure they dealt with like Black Friday shopping and everything, but considering this a large population of people, especially still right now, we're still in the pandemic and everything. We're supposed to stay home, and people getting bored. What whatever they're doing, they want to go ahead and get like the next Xbox or PlayStation experience. So
Mm.
yeah, way lots more people coming in and trying to get the thing.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, I'm surprised people were buying it because I was like, chances are a lot of people want more PS5. We saw that shit. We saw that console go out in minutes.
Hmm.
Xbox took a couple hours, but we saw it go. We still saw it go, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like I was surprised when when Walmart said sold out, and I'm like, wait, wait, really? Sold out? Y'all sold out? I never thought I'd hear those words. As an Xbox owner, I never thought I'd hear those words, but apparently I was wrong. Good on you, Xbox. Good on you. But no, it's Xbox. Congratulations, you're able to pull it off. I mean, you might be selling more One X's than Series X, but that's beside the point. You still were able to make money, and Xbox has proven they'll somehow persevere. Somehow, don't know why, but somehow they do. And lucky enough, we are basically coming to the end. I say lucky enough because I'm running out of steam on this conversation because there's I think we just mentioned everything we had on on site, right?
Yep. Pretty much. I think we're about almost done. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with everything with
Yeah,
what's
because
going on.
it's been a crazy week for Xbox.
Yeah.
The pre-orders were great if you were able to get one. Bad if your site kept crashing on us, and some of them didn't even work, and some of us had like issues here and there. But you guys, they were by Bethesda, which is a big news for many of us, and like possibly worrying and whether or not this game will be considered exclusive or not. Chances are it's not. You'll be able to play it. Calm down, Sony fans. You'll play Doom. You'll play Doom. You'll play the new Fallout.
Yeah.
New Vegas, I don't know yet, but you'll play Fallout. And Tokyo Game Show, there's they're going the right way. I don't know if Japan's gonna be okay with it, but we'll see. But yeah, no, it's a little bit on the shorter side because, well, we Daniel and I, we love talking about games, but sometimes they're just to be just straightforward conversations.
I mean, yeah. I mean, in the end, it's just games that we love.
Oh yeah, hopefully um, we'll get more news. Hopefully, I'm able to get a PS5. Hopefully, I'm starting to doubt it at this point, but hopefully. Either way, I was able to get the Series X, and I'm able to play
I mean, you got
some.
your chance tomorrow with GameStop.
Hopefully,
I mean, if you got
I'll double
nothing,
check on everything on whatever I can for GameStop. But we'll see.
yeah. I
But
mean,
no, thank you guys for taking a chance to listen to us, the Geek Centurions. You be sure to find us on any of the podcasting sites. Anyways, you guys can catch us on any podcasting sites from Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Apple Podcasts,
Spotify.
Spotify, and Pandora. All that good stuff. We do have social media. We have Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you go to Instagram, there's a link tree that links you all to other information out there that you'll need for us. Also, we do have a Patreon where you can support us in any way you can. And YouTube, where you can see our lovely faces. If you're an audio listener, then you can at least see how we are and how the little funny antics I tend to do on camera or
Yeah.
whatever. But It's you can go there, subscribe, comment, like, hit the bell icon, that good stuff that you tend to hear in every other YouTube comment. And yeah, that's about it. So it's been your boy.
This been your boy Daniel.
It's been your boy Eli. Thanks for checking us out, and hopefully let us know if you were looking at an Xbox or PS5. Later, guys.